How did that come about?
Okay, so I won this like moot court competition that we were doing, like acting like you're a litigator, getting facts, then arguing each other. My teacher said to us one day, I raised my hand and I said, "What if I get like a real rich bastard client? I'm his lawyer, I'm his litigator, and he wants me to destroy a really good person that's like weak and doesn't have money." And my teacher said, "You crush him." They go, "Anyone who hires you, you try your hardest, you do anything, lie, cheat, or steal within reason to win. Anything to win." And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be crushing like nice, regular people for pieces of shit. I'm like, I can't do that my whole life. I got to escape. Like
Mm.
growing up with a lawyer father, what I hated about law was like he always took on everyone else's problems. They became his problems, kind of like a doctor. So I didn't like it for that reason. But then when I found out I was going to have to hurt people for a living, I couldn't stomach it. Maybe I would have done it if I didn't get rich in law school. But I was like, oh my fucking God, what am I going to do to get rich and escape? So remember, I did this Kiss to Kill book and I did the world's greatest pickup line, the back of Rolling Stone. I started seeing all these like 1-900 lines on TV to call girls and shit. I thought, oh, these 900 lines are hot. I did a classified display ad in the back of Rolling Stone. It was 1-900 revenge, like a joke thing, like press one to get a revenge on a teacher, press two to get a revenge on your spouse, that type of shit. And I
Yeah.
try to keep them on the phone at $4.99 a minute as long as possible to make as much money as possible. So I did that and it did fairly well. And then I had a super hot girlfriend named Kelly down in Florida, and she was from a nice family. We're dating, and one day she said, "Hey, Jace, a friend of my family has a lot of money. His parents died last year, and he wants to meet you and invest in a business with you." I'm like, "What kind of business?" And she said, "Pretty much anything you want. He's impressed with you, but probably the 900 numbers." And I'm like, "Great." So I met this guy. His name was Mark. His brother was an attorney. His parents had just died. He had millions of dollars. And he said to me, "I have $100,000 to gamble with. Would you want to do a 50-50 deal? And you could do anything with your 900 numbers you want. I just want to be your partner." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Come up with a good idea." I said, "Give me till tomorrow. Come on back and I'll present an idea to you." So I ran out. I bought a big sheet of poster board and I broke it up into like, I don't know, like maybe 24 frames on each side, like even squares. And I
Hmm.
wrote like a cartoon, like number 1 to like 50 of like my idea of how to build a phone sex company, which like I don't know anything about phone sex. I never called a phone sex line. I never met a phone sex person or anything, but I saw these commercials on late night TV just banging away like back then in the 90s. And I was like, oh my God, these people are making so much money. But I couldn't figure out how much you had to pay the girls. Like I knew it was $5 a minute and $5 times 60 minutes is 300, but I didn't know how much of that the girls got. Prior to meeting this investor guy, I was at the hottest strip club at the time called Solid Gold in Florida. And we used to go there like every 2 weeks or something. So I knew the people there. A girl just mentioned to me that she did phone sex during the daytime at a phone sex place. I said, "What?" I'm like, "Holy shit. I've been dying to ask a phone sex person a question." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "How much they pay you an hour?" And she said, "We get $8 to $10 an hour." And I said, "Do you get commissions?" And she said, "No." I said, "So it's $5 a minute, $300 an hour, and you get $8 to $10 an hour?" And she said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why would you do that?" She goes, "It's fun. I love it." I'm like, "You don't really care what you're getting paid?" She's like, "Not really." She's like, "I'm getting paid." And she's like, "It's so much fun. It's so easy. It's so stupid." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "Oh, I got to get into that business." But I didn't have the money to get in that business. So I met this guy. I put this whole cartoon together, like a comic book laid out. I showed it to him, and he goes, and it showed us making millions of dollars a month on the third month, my
Mm.
cartoon. And with all the like booths for the crew. It was a good cartoon. I wish I still had it. He's like, "Let's do it." We go rent a place. We spent his whole $100,000 and we couldn't get the fucking phone to ring. Oh my God, we were retarded. Like so many ads. He had these, like, he was a very connected, charismatic guy, Mark. He had the biggest ad agencies in Florida working with us for free, doing crazy ads. Call this number and you get a free vacation to the Bahamas. Like, oh God, we were so silly. So we spent like $20,000 renting a location, building it out, and we spent 80,000 on advertising, and literally the phone didn't ring once. And so I was like, what the fuck's going on? I had this big opportunity to escape law school. So I'm like, fuck, I got to figure this out. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what I'm going to do or say. I got to make that phone ring. I'm like, what can I tell these motherfuckers so they'll call and the phone will ring? And I had this epiphany, and I invented free live call. So we spent another like $20,000, like a last chance, and we blanketed remember the alternative news weeklies, like the Village Voice, like remember all the big cities had one?
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do, but they were very popular back in the day, and they had the classified display advertising in the back, like Rolling Stone. So we blanketed that shit with free live call. Oh my God, the phones wouldn't stop ringing. 12 deep, we'd put in more phones ringing. They just wouldn't stop ringing. So I got the phones to ring, and then I had to figure out, now the phone's ringing, how do I give them a free live call and make money? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And fucking I figured it all out, and it worked out so beautifully. And within a month of our new strategy, we were grossing over $1 million a month. It just
Wow.
went bonkers. And like, I'm taking in 300 an hour and paying the girls 10 or 12 bucks an hour. I was selling air. Such room for like fucking up in business, and it's still good. Because Murphy's law of business and life. What can go wrong will go wrong at the worst possible time. I had such huge margins that, like, all the mistakes along the way didn't matter. I was driving an Aston Martin Virage, a $400,000 car when I graduated law school.